Hi, my name is Finn, and today I'm talking with you about an industry that is not really on the radar of many people, and that's the moving industry. And what is Movinga doing? We're doing nothing else but reinventing the way how people will move in the future and actually already today. But thinking about moving, you're wondering, so what is the problem with moving today that makes it necessary to define a model like Movinga? And it's pretty easy, because in every move you have two parties. You have the customer and you have the partner, like the moving company. And by definition, the moving industry is like a very old-fashioned industry. They're still working with fax, they're working a lot with telephone, it's not really digital. So if you really think about what the problems in this industry is, it's from the partner side. There are no standards, there are no clear prices, there are no quality kind of standards that you want to stick to. And actually the biggest problem is that moving companies are local and fragmented. So alone in Germany you have 11,000 moving companies. In France you have 7,500. So it's actually a huge fragmented market with a lot of local players that actually can't really scale on a national or even global level. If you then look at the customer side, what's the problem there? I guess you guys in the past already moved from A to B within the country, within the city. So the problem always is like, what is the trusted brand for moves? Like, how do you book? Like, do you look at the yellow pages? Do you do research online? And then at the end you get different offers. People want to visit your house. They come by, they make an offer. And you don't really know like which moving company you should pick. And very often the prices are very different between one moving company to the other. And you have at the end no idea why the prices are different. But if you really look at the biggest problem of this whole industry from the customer and the moving company side, it's really the logistical efficiency. And you really see that in any given point in time, 80% of the capacities that moving companies use today is not really utilized. And that's actually something that makes prices higher, that makes the industry inefficient, that increases our carbon footprint because a lot of trucks are actually going empty on the street. And that's overall the problem that Movinga is solving. How do we do that? From the customer side, we actually allow you to book very conveniently. You go to the website, you can do like a 3D journey, like where you actually log into our website, you give actually the furniture that you have, you actually can pick your rooms and say like how much furniture do you have, and we actually calculate the right price for you that you can really rely on. On the other hand, you actually have the moving companies that are today not very utilized and that have very big problems in doing international or even regional moves, because they only have a customer base in the local communities where they are represented. So the problem here is that actually like if you move from London to Birmingham with a local London moving company, they normally 95% of the time return empty. And they actually make you pay for it because they actually asking for a higher price to actually finance their way back. So what Movinga is actually doing is developing a platform that we call Moses, the Movinga system, that not only combines customers and moving companies, but really actually like vertically integrates into the supply chain and really helps them to logistically optimize their routing, and by that also offer the customers cheaper prices, ensuring a high quality, and actually making sure that everyone has a good experience when he's moving. The market is huge. Many people don't know that, but moving is a very fastly growing market because people move more and more often. People move regional rather than within the cities going forward, because you change your job very often in your life, you move from one city to the other. So it's actually a very dynamic market. If you look at the core market, just the moves itself, it's 5 billion in France, it's 7 billion in Germany, our core market. But then of course on top of it you have electricity, DSL, and all the things you typically need to do when your life event of moving takes place. You don't only want to move, but you want to reorganize your whole life in your new destination. And we as Movinga help you by doing that. And if you look at these services, the overall market alone in our two core countries is 42 billion euros, which is a huge market. And as I mentioned today, it's very hidden and very forgotten about. So how is Movinga doing? We were founded like approximately 2 years ago. We had a little bit of a crisis last summer. But from that point on, the company actually really got a reshift in strategy, really investing in technology, deeply integrating into the moving industry. And from that point on, actually our revenues, and these are real numbers, went up quite significantly. The August was actually our best month that we ever had, with almost 2 million revenues just in August. Our gross profit is around 36 to 40% by now. So at the moment we were ranging between 700 and 800,000 euros gross profit. So that's actually like a very powerful numbers that we can actually build our business on. But the real thing is like, and that is really the difference that Movinga makes compared to traditional moving companies, it's a technological advancement. You go to the website, You see, similar to flight booking, you see that when you move on a Friday, it's cheaper than on a Saturday. So we really do a lot of technology investment to really optimize the capacities of the moving companies, to optimize the routing, and really ensure the best price. And the thing is, or the secret is not to doing it manually, but rather automating that. And that's the reason why our net revenue per FTE increased quite significantly, very much in line with our technological advancement over the last months. But now we earn 200 euros with every move. That not always has been the case, but we're actually, our average ticket size net of VAT is 1,200. At the end, 200 euros per revenue, actually per move, is remaining in our pockets. So that's actually something that we really improved over time. And we just raised a financing round. So it's the biggest round Movinga ever raised. So we just received 22 million. And we want to do going forward is actually we want to grow in our existing markets, Germany and France. We want to extend our business model in more markets like local city moves and actually moves also globally and not only inside the country. And then at the end, also outside France and Germany, discovering new technologies. We want to grow approximately 100% year on year over the next 3 years. On average, over the next 5 years, 62%. We break even next year. And basically, timing is over. That's it. Thank you very much.